Hello there, this is Flash Trasman here to do a bit of streaming of the Port Royale 4 beta. As we know, the game is due to launch on the 25th September, and the beta's been available for a while, so I thought give it a go. Never played any of the Port Royale series before, so I've got no idea what to expect. So let's jump over onto the main screen. There we go. Alright, now let's hit go. Let's launch the game. It's going to pan back to me desktop, and then we'll see what happens. Here we go.
Men on a dead man's chest. Yo-ho and a barrel of rum. Drinking the devil had done for the rest. Yo-ho and a barrel of rum. The beast was impaled by the boatswain's spike. The boatswain ran with a marlin spike. And Cookie's corpse was marked Briney. His throat had been gripped by fingers ten, and there they lay, all those dead men, like rain cocaine, a boozy can. Yo-ho-ho and a barrel of rum. 15 men of a whole ship's list. Yo-ho-ho and a barrel of rum. A dead and be damned and the rest on the west. Yo-ho-ho and a barrel of rum. The skipper lay with his head in gold, with a slayer's axe, his cheek and shore. Yo-ho-ho and a barrel of rum. Yo-ho-ho and a barrel of rum. Yo-ho-ho and a barrel of rum.
That was nice. Welcome to Port Royale 4 beta. Okay, as we know, this is a beta, so therefore it will have bugs and failings and such like, but let's have a play with it. What I'm thinking I'm going to do today is I'm going to have a go at the tutorial, just to see what it's like really, and then hopefully, sorry, just get up my desk with my knee. Right, let's go to tutorial. Basics. Sammy will explain you to the basics for every successful mission that can be in this camera, blah blah blah. Continue. Okay, Sammy, let's begin.
Ahoy, landlubber! You're volunteering to come aboard? Usually we have to fill them with rum, drag them aboard, and ship them off before they sober up again. All right. My name's Sam. I'm a captain here, and there may be some things I could teach you.
Yep, hopefully, because...
The most important thing is to know where you're sailing to. Climb into the lookout, take the telescope, and look around.
I've done that now. What? Right, Sammy, what do I do now, mate? Am I supposed to do something specific? To move in all directions. We'll go that way, we'll go that way, we'll go that way, we'll go that way, that way. No, you can't do that, can you? Okay.
You can also look around in all directions. Don't worry. There are to know exactly where you are, of course, you need a good naval chart. Here in the area, there are 60 towns. Spanish, English, French, and these money bags from the Netherlands. And of course, pirates from all over the world. I'm sure you'll recognize one or the other convoy. For example, these could be merchants or military convoys. The only way to find out exactly is to get close enough with one of your own convoys, which is not always a good idea.
You can imagine that wouldn't end well. Like his parrot.
Check out Port Royale, your hometown during this exercise. This is the town on the island in the middle of the Caribbean. Your convoy is in the port of the town. Select it. No vessels, no trade. It's as simple as that. Such a convoy consists of up to 10 ships. But for you, 1 is fine for now. Until you can hire sailors and a real good captain, you'll have to show that you can handle yourself.
Okay.
Take a look at the different parts of the convoy.
Commodities. Boats. A schooner. I'm assuming that's what we can carry. I'm assuming we can carry 200 barrels or 200 commodities. I don't know what that means. Should be able to tell us at some point.
We're not sailing around here for fun. It's about trade between the towns, and commodities and gold. Select the town Port Royale to open up the town dialogue. But select the whole town, not a single building. So don't zoom in too far. A town is nothing without its inhabitants. These consist of workers and their families. The workers toil in the businesses and on farms and produce the commodities.
Okay, so next.
The fine gentlemen like to come up with an attitude, but it is very important that the inhabitants are satisfied, because otherwise they simply run away. The supply of commodities plays the biggest part for satisfaction. Now select the Production tab.
Oh, right there. One that says, I say, where's that? It's the one that says production. On
Sure. Every town also produces its own commodities, up to 7 different ones. But people want more. And that's where trade comes into play, and your convoy. It brings the people what they cannot produce themselves. Now select the Trade Between Town and Convoy tab. Everything that people want can be found on the market, or maybe not. And then they get dissatisfied. Each item also displays production, consumption, and the current price. The better the demand of a commodity is covered for the next weeks, the lower the price. That makes sense, doesn't it? So commodities produced in a town are usually quite cheap. Now select grain and buy 20 barrels.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm not sure I like that. Bit of a fiddle. Yeah, that's a bit.
While the grain is being loaded into your convoy, let's see where the shortage is. There you can then sell the commodities with profit and make people happy at the same time.
Because basically, that is weird. You have to click on it, then hold your left mouse button down to scroll in. Well, I would have thought you just clicked it to tap a number. Oh well. Right.
Now close the town dialogue.
Okay, we'll do that.
If you zoom out of the map far enough, you will see more towns northeast of Port Royale. Move the cursor over these towns to see the commodities they produce. Tortuga looks good. Send your convoys there.
Okay. So how do I do that then?
Make sure the whole town lights up when you send a convoy there. After all, he's supposed to dock in the harbor and not drift around outside the town.
Okay, seems sensible.
Now we'll wait until your convoy arrives in Tortuga.
Okay.
If you want to make a rapid progress, just zoom out. The further you zoom out, the faster time will pass.
Oh, I like that. That's clever. There's a merchant. All the way out. Oh, hang on. Oh, so you can send a convoy, so you can set waypoints. Oh, I'm assuming that, so you can bypass things, I assume. Interesting. So, come on, boat. Gotta move on. Watch him do. Where's he gone? Beautiful. I'd love to get some of this beautiful water. Let's just scroll all the way out to make it a bit quicker. So we get. I just want to watch him dock. I don't want to get too far. Then there we go. Right, come on. Pedal a bit quicker. Yep.
Arrived in Tortuga. No evening without beer, rum, and brawls. And no trading without permission. So open the town dialogue and get a trading license first.
Trading license. 10,000 gold coins. Yep.
Now open the trade tab again and sell all of your grain to the town. Great! You still have to get used to all the commodities and prices, but through trade you can earn the most money. For this, I offer a special course about the Caribbean economy. And there is also a lesson about creating automatic trade routes.
Okay.
By the way, in Port Royale, they need wood. Buy 50 units and return to Port Royale. There is work to be done at the shipyard.
Wood, so I'm gonna go like that. Hold my mask there. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Come out of there. Scroll out. Port Royale is here.
Until the convoy reaches Port Royale, a tip from me. Convoys cost money, maintenance, and repairs. Avoid empty trips and load your vessels as much as possible.
Of course we will, Sam. Looks we've got... What are you? I'm assuming that's distance or time? I have no idea. We've got one boat, we've got 50 out of 200. On the way to Port Royale. Gets a bit closer, we'll have a bit of score, let's see what Port Royale looks like. Yep. Very different squares. Let's move over. Come on, boat. I am gaming on a Ryzen 5 24
Port Royale!
GPU.
The smell of seaweed, old fish, and hope for prosperity.
So I'm not
Zoom
sure.
in on the town until you see the shipyard and select it. Convoys that are on the road a lot, the shells have to be scraped off regularly. And that's what the shipyard is for. But you can also get a new barge here if you need more cargo space. Buy a new vessel and get out of here for now.
I don't want it today.
Your vessel is still in the shipyard, and you can't even see it. You have to add it to a convoy first, or convert it into a new one. We do that at the lighthouse. Select it. On the left, you can see the selected convoy and your unused vessels on the right. By selecting a vessel, it switches size. That way you can enlarge, reduce, or dissolve convoys. If no convoy is selected, you can create a new convoy with 3 vessels. Now add your new vessel to the existing convoy. Not bad for a landlubber. The basics are in place. One more thing. Whenever you come across one of these info icons, you can use it to open the appropriate pages in the manual for Caribbean merchants. Try it.
Oh, right, okay. I'm going to click on completely wrong thing.
The info icon will always bring you to the right place in the manual. You can also open the manual at any time and just browse through it. All right, you've got the basics down, I hope. But there's a lot of people out there just waiting to make a rookie like you walk the plank. So I'm recommending my other classes as well. Don't worry, they're shorter.
Okay, we'll take that one, Sam. You want to start? Yes, we do. We might as well. Because that's why we're here.
All rested up and ready for the Caribbean economy? Let's go! First, select your convoy in the harbor of Port Royale. Is that clear? Check the hold of your convoy to see what you just loaded. We'll need it later. A lot of beer! Beer is important. Does not make you as drunk as rum and not as sick as spoiled water. Now open the town dialogue of Port Royale. To do so, select the whole town from a greater distance, or, if the camera is close by, the town hall or undeveloped areas.
Oh, there already, mate.
Here you can see the inhabitants who live here and have to be taken care of. About 1/4 of them are workers. Some of what they produce can be traded with other towns. Below you can see which cultivation and mining commodities can be produced in the town and how efficient such a production would be. Handicrafts such as clothing can be produced equally well in all towns.
Okay, so I suppose then you need to learn what towns produce stuff that's specific to that particular town and trade that. I think wild
People
guess.
always ask for all commodities, and the variety of commodities affects the satisfaction. In small settlements, however, simple commodities are more important. If the town grows, the inhabitants become more demanding, and the upscale commodities becomes more important. Now switch to the production tab to see the production of the town. Each town can produce a maximum of 7 different commodities. Here you can see what is produced in Port Royale per day. This is much more than the inhabitants themselves need. The surplus can then be traded with other towns. Your businesses will be here later. Now switch to the Trade Between Town and Convoy tab to see the commodities on the town's market. Here you can see all commodities that are available, sorted by their importance for the inhabitants. The first column shows the fill level of a commodity. This is the ratio of supply to demand. From 2 green bars on, a commodity is no longer scarce. From 4 bars on, it is in abundance.
Okay. So red they need, green they don't.
Here you can see how many commodities are in stock at the market of the town and in the selected convoy. The convoy must of course be anchored in the harbor of the same town. By buying and selling, you move commodities between the town and the convoy. Here you can see what the town produces and consumes. This includes commodities that serve as raw material for other products. Compare stock and fill level. The longer the stock lasts, the more secure and satisfied the citizens feel. The price of a commodity changes constantly because it depends on supply and demand. The higher the fill level, the lower the price. For the beginning, you should remember, buy from 2 green bars, sell until 2 green bars.
Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I thought it'd be filled full. Okay. Well, good bit of advice. Thank you very much.
The last column shows the average price you paid for a commodity. Of course, you should always sell a commodity at a higher price. Take a look at the price of beer. The average price of your loaded commodities is lower than the current price in the town.
Okay, so that means we should be selling.
People want beer, and you can give it to them.
So well.
To do this, select the commodity and slowly move the amount from right to left. You can see how the stock and the fill level of the town increases and the price per unit decreases. Now sell your beer supply to the town and close the town dialogue.
Hang on, a bit more.
No, that was wrong.
No.
Open the trade dialogue again. To do this, select either the whole town from a greater distance or,
Sorry.
if the camera is close by, the town hall or undeveloped areas. Then select the Trade Between Town and Convoy tab. People want beer, and you can give it to them. To do this, select the commodity and slowly move the amount from right to left. You can see how the stock and the fill level of the town increases and the price per unit decreases. Now sell your beer supply to the town and close the town dialogue. No, that was wrong. Open the trade dialogue again. To do this, select either the whole town from a greater distance or, if the camera is close by, the town hall or undeveloped areas. Then select the Trade Between Town and Convoy tab. People want beer, and you can give it to them. To do this, select the commodity and slowly move the amount from right to left. You can see how the stock and the fill level of the town increases and the price per unit decreases. Now sell your beer supply to the town and close the town dialogue.
Oh, does he want to sell a lot? Okay.
Very nice. Now show what you have learned. There's an abundance of grain in Port Royale right now. Buy at least 100 barrels.
Needs to learn how to listen, don't I, really? Right, so click on that and go 100 barrels. See, I wouldn't have sold all my beer there because the price dropped considerably, so I would probably would have done that. But, I suppose this is most limited Bannerlords. If any of you have ever played Bannerlords, the trading in that is just immense. It's like you literally could just play the entire game just being a trader. But anyway, I digress. Right, go on, Sam's going to get another noodles in a minute, so we hit that craft, done that.
The commodities are on board. Now you need a destination. I recommend Port-au-Prince, east of Port Royale. Set up your convoy there, open the town dialogue, and get a trade license. Then you sell the grain to the town.
Sit and wait for the boat to wing its way to Port-au-Prince, however you pronounce it. We're there yet. Big military beard. I'm not going to click on it because I've got no idea what it's going to do, so I shan't click on it. Our friend Sam might get a bit annoyed with us. Right, we've been going for 25 minutes. See what the next tutorial is, but I might leave it at that just for the time being, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm just sat watching it tick by. don't want to talk for the sake of talking, just because it is. Right, what do I do now? Right, so I've got to go to trade. I did trade losses, don't I? So I've got to go. Right, okay. Open the town dialogue. Right, okay. Right, town dialogue. Words failing. Buy a trade license. That's a lot of money. Got my trade license. Okay. So now I can go into. Sell my grain to the town. Have I got this right? Oh no, let's try that one again, shall we?
Excellent. That was my Caribbean economy crash course. It's really very simple. Buy cheap and sell dear. And don't waste all the profits on drinks. You should now understand what the price of commodities depends on. In the beginning, you do the trading yourself. Later, you set up trade routes and leave the trading to your convoys. Of course, always to your specifications.
I suppose the takeaway from that is knowing where the demand is for each particular area you're in. So I suppose therefore then, I personally would pick a small area, understand the towns in that small area, what the demands were, and start from there. Yeah, that's a difficult one. That could be quite a juggle in itself. Okay, let's hit next. See what someone's to do next. Convoy management. Let's have a bosh at convoy management, shall we?
You want to sail comfortably over the sea and enjoy the wind and waves? Then you're in the wrong place. I want to teach you how to organize your convoys so that they yield more profit for you. And we'll start right away. Choose your convoy that anchors at Port Royale.
Here you can see if the convoy has additional sailors. You can hire these via the trade dialogue if there are workers available in a town. Sailors are only needed by your combat vessels during naval battles. The total number of cannons of the convoy is displayed here. A convoy can only fight in naval battles if it has combat vessels, because only these vessels have cannons. If there is a battle, the sailors of the convoy will be distributed among the combat vessels.
Basically, if we get attacked, we're doomed.
You already know the different areas of a convoy. Select the area vessels. Here, you can see the vessels of your convoy. It's important that you understand the difference between a vessel and a convoy, even if the convoy consists of only one vessel. Suppose you buy a vessel in the shipyard. Then it will stay there until it belongs to a convoy. Only then it gets a crew and is put into the harbor. From that moment on, you can fill the vessel with commodities and put it to sea. Free vessels are something like dead capital. They are not operational, but they don't generate any costs. Two buildings in the town are important when it comes to vessels: the shipyard and the lighthouse. Let's first have a look at the shipyard in Port Royale.
We learned that already.
Select it to enter it. You have to zoom in close enough to the town, otherwise you won't be able to select individual buildings. In the shipyard, you can repair, buy, and sell vessels. As you can see, the vessel in your convoy could use a little overhaul. Get it done. Great. While the repairs are being carried out, we look at the vessels the shipyard is currently offering for sale. To do so, select the next area in the shipyard. Larger shipyards sometimes offer used vessels for sale. These can come from bankrupt merchants, for example. This is a good opportunity for you to get a new vessel quickly and easily. Just buy the two vessels on offer. This military frigate needs command points. This applies to all vessels with cannons. They can only be included in convoys that have a captain, and people trained in this field do not grow on trees. For the really big vessels, you have to prove that you are loyal to your nation and accumulate fame. here represented by fame points. Your fame increases when you do things that our dear Viceroy particularly likes. More on this later, in another lesson. Now look at the other parts of the shipyard. You can sell vessels which you don't need anymore, and order the construction of vessels. However, this always takes a while, and there must be enough building material available at the town's market before the shipyard can start the construction. To build new convoys or add new vessels to a convoy now, you need the lighthouse. Now close the shipyard and open the lighthouse of Port Royale. On the left side, your selected convoy is displayed. On the right side, you can see your free vessels, which are docked in the harbor. Just select a vessel to move it between the port and the convoy. If you have not selected a convoy that is anchored in the harbor, now close the lighthouse again. We have just talked about captains. Choose the Captain's tab in your convoy. A convoy is ready to go even without a captain, but a captain improves many characteristics and allows to carry armed vessels. Unfortunately, such captains are hard to find, and for each, you need a captain's license. You can get a captain's license from your Viceroy, but more about this in a later lesson. If a captain applies to you, this will be displayed here. Now open the captain's dialogue. Here you can see which captains are working for you, or who is applying as a captain. Every captain has other skills that will improve with time. Take a look at everything and then hire the captain.
Bella, Helmsman, increases speed so we can go 6% faster at sea. Not much of that.
A captain doesn't work for free, so don't forget to assign him to a convoy after you hire him. Otherwise, you'll pay for doing nothing. Now assign the captain to your convoy. Very good. With the help of their command points, captains can lead armed vessels. The higher the level of a captain, the more command points he can use. And that concludes this lesson about vessels and convoys. See you soon!
Right, we've been going for 32 minutes. I don't want to keep it any longer than that, just because you'll just be watching me watching the screen. So I am going to leave it there, and I shall back onto my end screen. I hope you've all enjoyed me just playing the tutorial, if I can even speak, that is, on Port Royale 4. Looks fascinating. The trading, for me, looks, if you've played Bannerlords on the early access, you'll be familiar with the type of trading where you literally have to find the demand and supply to it. So it's pretty much like that, in the same kind of theory. So it looks like it will be really, really enjoyable. Anyway, I'm going to finish off here. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, my plan is I'm going to finish the tutorials. I'll have a look through, and if they're worth recording, I will record them. If not, I won't. But then I'll probably try and do a little bit of playing on the beta over the next couple of weeks before it gets released properly, and then again I'll see how I get on with that. But hopefully you'll come and join me. Anyway, if you've liked what you've seen, do me a great favour, add some comments, let me know what you thought, what you think of the game, what you think of the potential for the trade-in. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and all the usual things. Anyway, this has been Flash Tribesman, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.